Good morning. Well, I'm here at the Robinson Preserve in Manatee County, which basically is the city of Bradenton, is where I'm at. I'm just outside the downtown area, toward the shoreline, pass through a nice residential area, and you come to this park where there's a loop that I'm going to do, and hope you'll stay with and come along. Let's go. Okay, so we're just starting the trail here. From the parking lot. And it's called the Osprey Loop. So, and you can find this on all trails. It says it's a 3.1 mile easy loop. So, have some downtime. Have a couple hours, and I figured I'd take a walk. I'm walking along here on the Osprey Loop Trail in the preserve here. I guess it's like a salt marsh area. Pretty nice. There's a lot of cars in the parking lot. There's a kayak or a boat launch right at the parking lot, and there was a rental little kiosk, I guess, a trailer that someone had, and they're renting kayaks. So if you want to go out, you can come here. You don't have to bring your own kayak, and you can rent one and go out a little bit and paddle, and then come right back and be on your way. There's been a lot of people using it. I guess it's open for multi-use for bikes, obviously walkers and horses, although I haven't seen any horses, just walkers so far. So this trail is labeled as easy. It's pretty much flat. Right now I'm walking on, I guess, crushed rock, kind of, it's compacted. Back there was some asphalt. There was a bike trail. Half of it was crushed or dirt rock, and the other half was asphalt. So other than that, I don't know what the rest is. We'll find out, but I have a feeling it's pretty much all the same. Not much elevation, a little bit of elevation, but not too much so far. Very minor, but walking through, no shade is something I was prepared for, but I didn't put any sunscreen on. I'm just using my hat, and I figure it'll be about an hour or so. So hopefully I'll get through to do 3 miles, a little over an hour, about that, and then I'll be back in my car, so it shouldn't be a problem. There was a board, an information kiosk with a map, which I did not really look at much. But anyway, I'm going to turn you around so let you see what I see. So this is the trail. I've passed a number of walkers so far. Just coming out, they probably come out here and do their morning walk. With a stroller or, a couple of groups. But, and you can see there's some evidence of recent fires. But other than that, not much else. Looks like there's a pavilion over there with some benches or tables, but I'm going to go this way because this is where the loop trail goes. And continuing nice open views. There's a lot of areas that have been labeled for restoration. Obviously they've been planted here. That looks like an area that, it's kind of been replanted. Nice easy walk, pleasant. I would have hoped to have been out here earlier today. However, I got a little later start than I anticipated. And one of the reasons why I picked this place is it was nearby. It's a nice walk, about an hour or so, because it's going to be a very hot, warm day today. There's supposed to be some rain predicted. I did bring my rain jacket just in case. I have a backpack, I have water, sunscreen, bug spray, and I actually have a snack or two just in case. But one of the reasons I wanted to come here was for that. I'm looking to go up the observation tower, and that I would like to do, just because there's not anywhere else in this area I think that has one that I'm aware of. When I was looking, I didn't spend too much time, but it was pretty close by. It's about 20-25 minutes away from where I'm staying, so I'm looking forward to going by the observation tower and even climbing up and take a look around, get some pictures from up there, see what I could see. And as I come to the T that leads off to the observation tower, you can see they have these numbered stations, and here's the map, and here's where I started. Here's obviously right where we are right now. Here's the tower, but you see they show you a map, and each one has a number as you walk the trail. So, and there's different loops. I'm doing the Osprey loop, which is 3.1 miles, but there's also other loops in here that are smaller. The Heron Trail, which is only 0.4, and the Eagle Loop, 1.6. A Hinga, which is 0.5. So there's a bunch of different trails, which is nice. And you got this covered bench, garbage and recycling, and you can take a break. And I turned off of the loop to go to this little road, which is called the Tower Trail, because it leads to the tower. And there's two ways to get to it. One from here, and you can see the other one going off to the right. So whichever way you come, you still have a point where the trail can go off to the tower. And I just saw a gentleman walking here, but I don't see anyone else here. So I may have it all to myself. Okay, here is where the tide would come in. Obviously, this is the marsh area. You can see all these little crabs here crawling around. Let me get a little closer to them. And what you see here are literally hundreds of fiddler crabs. Let me see if I can zoom in on them, show you them a little closer. They have that one big claw that gives them their name. They're very perceptive when you come near them, though. I don't know how they know, they sense it, but they know I'm here. And I'm walking to the tower now. And just the marsh area here has all those fiddler crabs in them, so pretty neat. They're just, it's like the floor is just alive, crawling with them. There's literally thousands of them everywhere. So this is beautiful. You know, with the water, I imagine when the tide comes in, it's a little bit, you know, flooded where they are, and it's probably nicer. And I can see there's another bridge of some sort across the way. I don't know if my trail will take me over that, but it looks like it will. It's a beautiful image right there of a guy canoeing, paddling right there. Nice picture. Well, here I am at the top of the tower. You can see I'm overlooking the water. That's the ocean. I think that's Anna Maria Island that's out there. And you can see all the traffic. Got a plane passing overhead. So, making a little noise. I'm going to stay in the shade. My phone's overheating. But beautiful view up here. And I will take you around to the other side. And you can see this is where I came from. You can see the little kiosk, that's where the bench is. And the parking lot is actually back that way. So, haven't gone very far so far. I've only gone a little over half a mile, about 0.6 of a mile. But you got some bees up here, or wasps. Gotta be careful for it, but just a beautiful view. I'll give you a much better view without me in the way. There's that guy. I guess he's fishing maybe in his little boat. And there's the other bridge across the way. I don't know if I go there, but I think I do. And you can see this is the whole preserve over here. And so just there's some people in a kayak over there I just saw right over here behind that tree. You'll see them. I don't know if they're going to come this way or they're going the other way, but you can see that's where that canal leads all the way back to where the parking lot is, which is probably somewhere over there. I can see people in the distance. But anyway, nice view. That's Bradenton in the distance. But yeah, nice little walk. There's some people bicycle riding. You can see the little salt marsh areas where probably when the tide is high or when it's more flooded during the rainier seasons, I'm sure you get some standing water here. There's that little kayak. Looks like one of those plastic rental ones. But yeah, we're going to continue on. Nice view, but we're going to go. Still walking along, just came to about 1 mile. I am coming to that boardwalk that I saw from the other side. And you can see here, there is the observation tower where I was earlier. I see there's a person climbing it. And I'm gonna go across this boardwalk, which is nice. And like I said, the trail's been very easy. I don't see this as being a problem for anyone to walk and navigate. It's crushed rock or shell, whatever, and very easy to navigate. Oh, this boardwalk goes on for a while. Nice. And I'm coming up to location marker 2. I think this is 7 Pines is what map is telling me. And once again, there's garbage, recycling, picnic table. Obviously, if you're fishing, you got a table, I guess you could use as well. I don't know if you're allowed to fish here or not. But we're gonna go ahead. Unfortunately, it's sand over here, so it's a little harder to walk on. But you're right along the water and the river, or the ocean I should say, and we're going to make our way along here. I've done about 1.2 miles so far. Luckily, the really soft sand wasn't too bad. It didn't last too long. I could see if you have trouble walking, or maybe a bicycle, if you didn't have like off-road tires, that would be a little hard spot. There's some more sand coming up here, so I'm probably about 1.5 miles in. So it was about 1/4 mile, less than 1.5. So it was like 1/4 mile of soft sand. Here it's a little bit more hard packed, so I don't think you'd have trouble bicycle riding over this or walking. So, but if you have a mobility problem, I imagine that little sandy section there, you'd probably have to take it slow, or maybe you would just not do that. Maybe turn back around and go the other way so far. But other than that, I don't see any problem. What is nice is there's really not much shade. Every once in a while you pass under a tree, but there's really not a lot of shade. But it's not overly used so far. Obviously, where I first went in, there seemed to be a little bit more use. But here you see a couple people fishing, but spread out. You just pass like, you know, a hiker or two. But you can definitely find some solitude or walk and enjoy nature without a ton of people. Of course, it is during the week. I'm here. It's a Thursday morning, so I imagine on the weekend there's probably more usage. And the people that I do pass, everyone's friendly. Everyone's, we're all saying hello, good morning. And only one person that didn't really answer me. I don't know. I'll give them grace. Maybe they're listening to music or they're in their own world. And occasionally there have been benches or a table where you could stop and take a rest. Obviously, you could always sit down somewhere by a tree or something. But there was several places, or I should say there were several places that I noticed that had a place to sit down, a bench that you can take a break in the shade if you want to just enjoy the solitude, or it's just a little too much for walking, you need a break. The heat is here, obviously. I'm sure it's in the upper 80s, probably in the 90s with the heat index right now. It's still early in the day, but it's I think it's around 11 o'clock now. This is what I see. Still walking through kind of softish sand. Not too bad. You can see a couple of bike tracks. But if you're probably careful, you can get over this section. Here it's going to be a little bit more hard packed, so it's a little easier. Amazed me that there is quite a current in the water here. I see fish, I see stuff floating, but it's moving. So there's a nice current here as well. And here's one of those benches. This one's not in the shade, but if you wanted to stop here and look, and you can see you got a nice little view. The bridge in the distance, and I'm at stop number 4. So I think it goes up to 13. So I got a lot more to do. So here I am at number 5 along the bay, and I'm going to go up here, and I won't see everything, but we're going to head back up this way. So you do have to be a little careful over here. There's a couple of side trails, but I know I'm on a straight shot, so I just got to keep going up this road. This path right here will take me to where I need to go. So as you can see, it's open and exposed. There is not much shade here so far. And I'm a little better than halfway done with the trail already. It's taken me a little longer because obviously I've been stopping, taking pictures. I went up the observation tower, took some pictures, came back down, so that's eating up the time. So I've been walking about 45 minutes already to do 3.1 miles. Ordinarily, that would be an hour maybe for me. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But on a relatively flat trail, I would usually do a pretty good pace, especially if I'm trying to push a little bit or doing rucking. I do have a backpack on, but it's minimum weight. It's probably 8 pounds, 10 pounds at the most. I do have water and a Gatorade in there, not to mention some clothes and snacks. So, but that's it. So, and now come to location number 6. Just a bench. We're here now. So a little more than halfway done. Don't have that much far to go. This trail comes off, so it doesn't go all the way over here like the other trail does. I'll be turning off to get back to the parking lot over here. So while it looks like there's a long trail, I won't be taking that one. I'm staying on this trail, the Osprey Loop. So we're, more than halfway done. So as I'm walking along on this ridiculously straight and long section of the trail, it's really not that bad. It just seems like it when I was looking down, it's like, wow, this goes on for a while. It probably wasn't as long as I thought it was. Definitely this is the best green time I've had in the last couple of weeks, and give me some time to think about things. I think things going on in life and everything, so it's good to have this alone time. My shoulder is a little sore, even with this light backpack on. So I have an appointment later in this next coming week with Dr. Orthopedist to find out what's wrong with my shoulder and why I'm having pain, but I'm afraid it's not going to be very bad, but I don't think it's going to be good either, obviously. I probably have an injury similar to what's in my knee going on my shoulder now. So that's what I suspect. But of course, I don't know that. But, I'm not a doctor. I shouldn't diagnose myself. But I'll find out. Anyway, going along, the trail's going to shortly turn to my left. And it'll start on that another straightaway with a little bit of curves back to the parking lot. But it's nice to get out here and I had some time to think about different things. Got a lot of things going on, coming up, and things that are going on in my life, just like everybody else. Life is busy. There's always something happening. So good to get out and kind of, if you can, push those things out of your mind. It's not easy to do. So, but nice view of the waterways with the observation tower in the distance. And we're going to continue on. Walked about 2.4 miles, so getting close to my turnoff point. And here's another one of those covered benches. So they're not that far apart, a couple of tenths of a mile. You got places you can stop and rest if you wanted to. I think I'm going to push on. I'm not going to bother, but I could definitely enjoy it. And they got some stuff here, I guess, if you want to work out as well. I guess it's a thing. I'm going to turn to the left to where it says the main entrance. And there are 3 different paths here that you can go. So it's important to pay attention to where you're going. Maybe plan ahead, have a map, or use something like I used Old Trails so that I know that I'm staying on the trail. And this is a paved portion. So I'm assuming that this probably much stays paved until I get back to the parking lot. But I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm going to edit that out so you won't know I'm wrong. So anyway, easy going on here because of the paved section. It's not hard to do. There's another bench back there off to my right. There's another trail that's only like 40 feet away, and there's a bench there that if you wanted to, you could stop there as well. And we'll just make our way in. Beautiful nest on top of that hole that they've done. I don't know what's nesting in there. I don't see anything using it right now. So, but we'll keep on going. Still walking along, coming up probably 2.9 miles. So almost done. Probably got about another 6 to 8 minutes of walking to be finished. And as I suspected, so far everything else has been on this concrete path or trail. So this is nice. Can make some good time through here. I have seen some other trails off to the side, and obviously some service roads for people in the park. Hasn't been too many people on this side. Since I first started, people have been really interspersed few and far. So there's a lot of solitude. The only negative, I could say, beside the fact that I wish there was a little bit more shade at some points, is, and you can probably hear, there's a plane in the background. There's a local airport here. So you have jets coming in, large jets that are coming into the international airport close by. And you do have, this is probably outside of the airport airspace enough that you do have some small planes transiting the area, trying to go up and down the shore, north and south, and avoid that crowded airspace probably. So you do get some light airplanes, some small single engine. So, but that's it. It's just a little noisy every once in a while when they come over, but they're not like every minute or two. It's every couple of minutes. So it's not quite as busy, especially I'm here. It's kind of midday. It dies down, I imagine, probably in the evening or the early morning hours when there's a lot more planes coming in or out. It probably gets noisy, or noisier, I should say. Okay, those are just my thoughts as I'm moving on. Maybe the heat's getting to me, but I definitely feel like I'm just rambling on now. There's another nesting site, I guess just erected. There's no one in it yet. So that's what they look like without any wildlife. And there's the observation tower from a little distance. You got this little water puddle in between us. And I'm gonna head back in. And it looks like I'm coming back toward a parking lot or at least I see a vehicle in there. So I'm coming back into the parking lot area where I started. I showed just over 3.1 miles, so it's a little bit longer, but that may be because I backtracked and went up and down the tower, the observation tower there. So it's roughly 3.1. That's pretty good. Been walking well over an hour now. I got about an hour and I think it's 15 minutes. Yeah, hour and 15 minutes. I did take my time. Like I said, I stopped at the observation tower. Beautiful water behind me. And you know, you can come out here, you can paddle, you can walk, you can bike. I guess you can ride a horse as well. I'm walking, this last section has been divided like the beginning was, with asphalt and crushed, you know, rock or shell. So I'm walking on that because it's probably a little softer on your feet. I don't know, maybe the asphalt is better, I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting back to the parking lot I see up ahead, where I started. So that's going to be an end for this one. Like I said, it's a nice trail. It's in the middle of a urban area, just off to the side, so you kind of forget. You can easily lose yourself. You know, there's no noise from like traffic and construction. The only thing that there is aircraft. I would say you're going to hear that once you're walking over there. But if you sat down somewhere and, you know, and you're enjoying yourself, I don't think you need to worry about it. Okay, so that's going to be the end. I would recommend definitely getting a map or, you know, all trails or something, so you can know where you're going and follow the different trails. Not that you can really get lost. There are signs, and obviously there's information boards throughout.